Alright, let's open some Murders at Karlov Manor. I don't know why I hesitated, just so I could force myself not to say Markov, since, you know, everyone has been confusing the two or adding the two together, and now it's kind of become a meme. And I don't know whether this is that we're all influencing each other, or it's just that those two words are way too similar. And maybe they should have just made it Murders at Markov Manor, although I guess it would have been a little too on the nose, because isn't Markov a vampire? Isn't he murdering people all the time? I don't know. You tell me. I think this is the first time that the booster packs don't really, they don't have the style of Magic the Gathering. Like, I would say all the booster packs that I've seen throughout the time since the 90s, the booster pack is somewhere along the spectrum of what you'd expect from graphic design for Magic the Gathering. And while this Scepter, or maybe Icy Manipulator, I don't know, is that this font is too modern. And with the Universes Beyond, the complaint has been, does this have the little pull tabs? Yes, it does. The complaint has been that the Universes Beyond, some of them are too far removed from the fantasy of Magic the Gathering, Lord of the Rings being closer and Dungeons & Dragons being closer. But Dungeons & Dragons has been somewhat rejected as well, right? And this just seems, again, too modern. Now, I say that with my favorite set that's going to come out this year is Thunder Junction, and that's cowboy themed, so I'd say that's even more removed from it than even something somewhat modern like this Murders at Karlov Manor. And maybe it's just me because I'm not terribly interested in this set. I mean, there are people that are interested in it, but I'm not necessarily one of them. Okay, so I had heard about these dossier type treatments, and I wasn't expecting to like them, but now that I look at it, I kind of do. I don't know, maybe it makes me think of G.I. Joe, which, doesn't belong in Magic the Gathering, but there'll probably be a G.I. Joe set at some point in time, so, I don't really know. Officious interrogation. Don't know if that rare is necessarily good, but we'll, I don't know, maybe. Actually, you know what? How about we give you a little look at these dossier style things, because you never know. Maybe people are into that as well. Huh. Oh yeah, I'm hoping collector boosters. So, well, why are there so many rares? Why? How did I get so many rares? That's so wonderful. I don't know. Well, let's look at this other treatment as well. I mean, it's cool looking, and so that's the thing, is even if you don't necessarily like the sets, Magic is still making them cool looking, so. No witness. Man answers. Okay. Oh. I guess the full art lanes here. I mean, I like full art lands, and so far I haven't seen full art lands that I don't like, so, keep that up, Magic. I mean, even though, I guess because I wasn't around collecting Magic when full art lands were like the biggest thing, like, you were able to sell them for quite a bit, and now they're basically worthless because there's so many of them, that it doesn't really bother me, because I guess I wasn't really there for the difference. The tokens even look kind of nice. Again, maybe a little too modern, but I guess, okay, so Kamigawa was probably, it's futuristic, sort of futuristic fantasy. I don't know. I'm not even sure what's good in this set, and I guess we haven't gotten any. Oh, is that what the clue tokens? I don't know. I don't actually know what's good in this set because I haven't looked into it because my interest was pretty low. But now that I'm looking at it, I actually don't mind it. And that actually seems to be the case, I guess, with a lot of people disliking this modern era of Magic is that they're against these things that seem to be, you know, trying something new, but once they see it, they kind of get into it, which is, you know, actually a good thing. So you should be kind of thankful for that. If you were really opposed to something, Vein Ripper. So that's the first mythic in the special treatment. Not foil, so doubt it's necessarily, you know, super valuable. Serene Sleuth, Axebane Firefox, Death Touch, Haste, Ward, Collect Evidence 4. Not really sure what the evidence is. Relive the Past, Culvert Ambush. All right, this way. Now it looks kind of cool too. But yeah, so the people, you know, start opening these things, and they're like, oh, you know, I'm actually kind of into this. Now, you know, we're looking at collector boosters, which is much different than, you know, doing a draft night where you're mostly just going to get the regular treatments, and maybe in some sets, sometimes they have, you know, the special versions, but they're really hard to get in a draft box. Now we've just got play boosters. So they were somewhat less rare in Lush Portico. Enters tapped, but you get to survey with it. So maybe people like this land. Don't know. Let me know. So now the play boosters are more like set boosters. Therefore, you're more likely to get it's still rarer than the collector boosters. So, you know, got to keep that in mind. But yeah, so you can get these other treatments. Maybe, I don't know if the set, you know, in the play boosters you can get some of these other treatments because they don't always do it every set. They make things exclusive for the collector boosters sometimes, or most of the time. So, you know, I guess, so my impression that I'm doing here as I knock over cards is that of opening collector boosters. So, you know, it's going to be skewed a little. Trostani, 3 Whispers. It's foil, it's mythic, it looks nice. Don't know if it's, you know, super cool, but we'll see. Deathkeeper Thrall, Copycatchers, Urgent Necropsy. Don't know if that's a hit, but it's a mythic, so we'll show it off. So, I don't know how many people open Commercial District. I don't know how many people open collector boosters. They are becoming more popular despite the fact that nobody seemed to want them at first, or people were upset about them, and more people have come to gradually accept them again. You know, because when you do open things, or you do come across a card that came from a collector booster, you notice how, at least sometimes, or a lot of the time, you notice how wonderful it is, and then you want collector boosters. But then, you know, not everyone can necessarily afford collector boosters, and buying them one at a time is not the most effective way to get good cards, but it is an enjoyable experience a lot of times. Kaya, Spirit's Justice, so Mythic Planeswalker in foil might be worth something. Who knows in this day and age? Commercial District in full art. Havoc Eater, Treacherous Greed, Sharp-Eyed Rookie. Did I hear something about that? Don't know. Let me know what the hits are from this, because again, haven't truly paid attention to this. So the collector boosters have, I guess, gone up in people's esteem, and I guess maybe the esteem has also been increased based on the Magic 30 stuff. So, you know, at least collector boosters aren't Magic 30. It's not as far as it's not the furthest Magic is, or Wizards of the Coast is willing to go I guess, oh, Descana Rage Mother. Rage Mother. Not the furthest Wizards of the Coast is willing to go in their greed, from the perspective of the people who see Wizards of the Coast as just greedy. I mean, people are on a spectrum, right? And, part of the spectrum is most people don't really actually care. Most of the people buying this stuff aren't watching, even the professor's videos or Rudy's videos or any other number of people who have way more subscriptions than mine. But if there's 20 million Magic players, there aren't 20 million people watching for the professor's videos. His subscriptions being the most subscriptions in the Magic community that of a purely Magic channel is what, 800,000? So what percentage is that of 20 million? And it's probably 20 million plus at this point. Who knows? Is it high as 40 million? Audience with Trustani. Is that a? No, that's just a rare. So most people are just buying what they feel like buying, and they're not asking for people's permission to buy those things or asking for other people's opinions about whether they should buy those things. They're not going on the internet to see what everyone else thinks. They just want the thing they want, and they engage with it, with their hobby that way. And, when they're on the internet, they're watching Kardashian stuff, or they're watching sports, or they're watching The Blacklist, or something else that isn't their hobby. That's how they're engaging on the internet. And for whatever reason, they obviously they're going, I wouldn't even say necessarily now that they're Pride of the Hullclyde. Foil, special treatment. Mythic. So, maybe that's a hit. So I wouldn't even say that they're necessarily... Etrata, Deadly Fugitive. Not foil, but special treatment. So they may not even necessarily be going into local game stores anymore. They might just be buying on Amazon or eBay, or maybe they're just buying on a game store's website and never actually going in there and playing. Maybe a lot of... we don't necessarily know, but are there 20 million people going to game stores every Friday to play Magic, or even every other Friday, one Friday a month, one Friday a year? But even then, it doesn't seem like it, so maybe this is really a kitchen table TCG. Maybe most people are just playing at home with their buddies, and they aren't. And when you ask them, do you know who the professor at Tenorian Community College is? They're like, what are you talking about? Don't know what you're talking about. I have a friend who watches none of this stuff and wouldn't know who these people are, even though I've probably shared one of his videos. He's ex-military, and he's doing his own thing, and most of his gaming is stuff that he acquired in the 90s and early 2000s. So once in a while he says he buys Magic product, but most of his Magic product is from the early 90s to early 2000s, and there's not much more than that. And I tell him sometimes what's going on, but he's not going to remember it because he doesn't care that much, right? He cares about the things that he cares about. Anyway, my point is that there's, we talk about this is what everyone in Magic wants, but in reality, we don't actually know, because most of those people are not engaged in the conversation. They're doing what they want, and they're ignoring the rest of us, right? And we think that in our little bubble that everyone is thinking a certain way, but it's just the bubble thinking that way. And now there's two sides in this bubble, but there's a third side that doesn't care either way. The two sides in the bubble are play pieces versus, a collectible card game. As Rudy wants it, that your cards retain value so that you can sell out later. As in, when you leave the hobby, you wouldn't have wasted all your money. That's what he wants. And it had been that way for quite a while, and maybe it still will be at some point in time. And maybe we're just in, a different economy right now, and we're moving into a new one. Who knows? That's the last pack, and I'm not done my thought. And my thoughts on the set, though, really nice cards. And Magic has been doing that the entire time I've had this store. There hasn't been a set that I've looked at the cards and I'm like, I don't like the look of those cards. And then there hasn't been a set where at least I can't see, these some of these cards might be fun to play. And the people that come in to the store and draft have fun drafting. So I don't know that necessarily we're, you know, I don't know that our opinions matter all that much. My opinion, your opinion, all the people you're talking to online, their opinion. So even if there is some sort of consensus, which there isn't, because there's two sides to the debate about game pieces and collectability. I'm firmly on the collectability side. It's a collectible card game, but there's people that are firmly on the play piece side. I don't know why they think that way, because I don't think they've thought about it to its logical conclusion. They just want what they want in the moment, right? I think it's an emotional reaction. I'm not terribly emotional about collectible card games. I'm collecting them, I'm playing them, I'm now selling them, but I'm not emotionally connected to them. I'm not even emotionally connected to it in the way that Rudy is emotionally connected to it. Let's go back through the mythics. So, you know, we lose sight of the fact that there's a bunch of people out there who don't care about any of it. And they don't care about your opinion about play pieces or my opinion about collectability. They have their opinions about collecting this card game, or whether they want play pieces, but they don't care about this community online's opinion. They care about their opinion and their friend's opinion in real life. And so the take that they have on either of those two positions, and there's so many other positions or ideologies about this game that they could be taking, but they're all from a completely different perspective than what you and I are thinking, because we're entrenched in the online community and discussing these things, and the discussion is evolving. And for them, it's not evolving, because they're not necessarily discussing it outside of their friends, so there's not too many, new concepts that are coming into their discussion. So they have their opinion, and it's fairly static, and it's been static for a long time. And maybe, some of them didn't like the price and they dropped out. New people have come in and the price is what it is, and when it starts to rise again, some of those people will drop out. But they're not in it in the same way that anyone watching this video is in it. Or anyone watching a professor at Solarian Community College video is in it, or anyone watching a Alpha Investments video is in it, or anyone talking on Reddit, or in the Facebook groups, or whatever. So, while some people, you may have your opinion on the collector boosters, and it may have evolved, or it didn't, and you still dislike them, or you still like them, it doesn't really matter, because the market isn't you, and the market isn't your opinions, and the market isn't even what you've been talking about online. The market is a completely nebulous thing that's out there. It's kind of like dark matter. The dark matter side of this community is what decides things. And collector boosters, they had a bit of a hit with the Innistrades in 2022 and stuff like that. Well, I lost the memory on the other thing, so I'll continue talking, but because I got another mic going. In any case, to wrap it all up, it's a dark matter group that is looking at these collector boosters and what they want to do about them and how much they want to pay for them and what they like about them. And we don't actually know, because we haven't polled them. Maybe Wizards has. Maybe Wizard has some way of, because they got a lot more money. But the point is, you can say what you want about how the Magic community thinks, but the truth is we don't really know. So I really enjoyed this collector booster box opening. I hope that you guys like what the cards look like. Let me know if you enjoyed this or you hated it. Comment below. Thanks.